not just started Raw, started the Raw. I mean, for years, fans had. I mean, and my gosh, look how much money the quote unquote aftermags made off of the fantasy booking of what if the Undertaker, wrestled the Giant? What if the Undertaker wrestled Sting?
Goldberg Austin was the
Yeah,
dream match of all
yeah.
dream match when they were red hot.
So all of that, I mean, even going back to before Hogan came over, it was Hogan and Flair who would win. They had done this for decades. And now this is the show where it's finally, hey, we're announcing it can happen. I own them both. And instead of starting off with teasing, boy, now we've got the dream matches coming, everybody, nope, I'm going to fire that motherfucker. I mean, that's the way we read it, right? Like,
see, and I can't put myself in your shoes.
Yeah.
In this time frame, because I was so ingrained to On the Grind, Nitro, Raw, Thunder, in the TV moment, writing TV, being a part of good creative, being a part of bad creative, all that to go with it. And he starts Raw with Jeff.
Bruce says that he didn't tell you what the creative was, and you didn't know what the creative was. You watched on a monitor like everybody else. When you saw it, laughed, patted him on the back, and walked away. That sound about right?
And I can tell you, full transparency, and this is so liberating. And Eric, we text back and forth, but there's a little bit of cleansing in all this. And through the last 3.5, 4 years, I've had different moments of this. But I can assure you, going on inside of Jeff's head was, I'm going to give him the nervous kind of the golf clap pat. Hey,
yeah.
Walking away like, okay, he started with Raw. What does that really mean? Man, what are we doing next week? Where's Raw at next week? Am I on Raw next week? Am I on SmackDown? Wait, no. Jeff, you're getting too far ahead. Wait, okay. He wouldn't have put me. It's the old game in your mind. He wouldn't have put me on TV unless there were plans. Well, maybe not. Well, I'm getting paid. I'm not going to give that up. And why would he pay me this money when he wouldn't pay me this 2 years ago? And guess what? I'm going back to my Memphis roots. When you have a roster of, in those days at WCW, 100 guys or 80 guys or 60 guys, it's a big pile of mess regardless. Nobody, I can remember Hall, Nash, Hogan, Flair, Goldberg, whatever that, Booker, just the whole big roster. I do remember having this conversation with my dad, maybe not the week after, but the following couple of weeks. Nobody means nothing, Dad. If everybody goes over at once, it's complete dilution. It will not work. It just won't. How can you make anybody special if there's 30 new guys that show up? It just isn't going to work. So that night, though, we're staying on the night.
Hang on, time out. Did you say that because you had seen what happened with the UWF and the NWA before when Crockett bought out Watts?
It's okay. UWF, I always refer to it as Watts territory.
Yeah.
Yes. But if you also remember when Geigel and Kansas City went out of business, there's been an influx. It's just, when we came in to Dallas from USWA and Michael Hayes and Kevin Von Erich, hey, we need your help. Well, all of a sudden, my dad was like, no, wait a minute. Eric Embry's there. We don't need to send everybody at once. And Cactus Jack and Gary Young and, just, I guess, cumulative effect of looking at my entire rearview mirror, so to speak.
People had tried it and it didn't work.
It doesn't work. I mean, period. It just doesn't.
It's hard enough to get one guy over. You can't get 30 over.
Bingo.
So anyway, let's get back to the night. So you're thinking all of that, I'm not going to give this money up. He wouldn't pay me that before, blah, blah, blah. You're walking away after the nervous laugh. Do you just go pack your shit and leave the building, or do you hang around?
There's a picture that floats around, and it's the last Nitro. And I can remember there was sort of a kinship between me and Conan and Disco Inferno and Jeremy Borash and Bob Ryder. We did this show, or not we, but Bob and Jeremy did the show WCW Live. And me and Conan and Disco, all at different angles, but we always loved that instantaneous feedback. And that WCW call-in show, although we had some of the same callers, but we got immediate feedback. And I had come to, me and Bob Ryder's friendship had really blossomed out of that, and me and Jeremy Borash as well. Jeremy, excuse me, we'll go on to discuss that, but how integral a part of it is. Jeremy's got a skill set. He's a people person. His background is a DJ. He's into tech at an early adopter of that. that relationship of us five, and it's cool that photo was taken, but I can remember going in there. I didn't really have much to pack in my bag, and I knew I wasn't flying out to the next day. And I knew that I was one of those guys that some people would rush back to the hotel bar, you know, night after night after Nitro. And maybe Scott Hall told me this, what are you in a rush for? It's going to be there till about 3 a.m. So just hanging out in WCW Live and having those conversations, and took care of, there was props, and another guy was like, give me an address. I had to write, I was getting stuff shipped to my house. That's the old promoter mentality. But
so are you going around saying goodbye to everybody?
I can't say that other than some production folks that I went up and thanked them. I did. Hey man, I really, because during that time, again, with the creative and not knowing what we were going to do, and they, a lot of those folks really, I don't hate to say it, it's the truth. They've really been over backwards for me.
Yeah.
From a talent standpoint, but I also gave back. They knew that I appreciated it. So I can remember going to specifics, production folks, and just say, hey man, I appreciate it. Look, AOL Time Warner is a big organization. Look, you're going to land on your feet. This is really interesting. Things can change. But there was a real sense of, I don't want to hear that. So I just sort of said my goodbyes. As far as the boys and talent, it's like, I mean, even when I was working in Dallas, I'd go by this WCW show. The boys will be the boys. There was no need in telling them so long. I didn't look at it that way. Look, we're in the industry, period. You know, I still stayed in contact with WWF talent. You know, to this day, I've got friends in every organization around the world, from Australia to the UK. I mean, it's a kinship, so to speak, that always exists.
So you go back to the hotel bar, you're hanging out with the guys. What are the quote unquote boys saying to you about the promo? Are they wondering the same thing you did? Like, hey, does this mean you're working an angle with Vince? Or are they coming up saying, oh, sorry, man?
Both. I mean, it's a lot of it is coming back. They were like, what's that mean? I'm like, hell, guys, I didn't write the damn thing. But I don't know. But I said, on the one hand, but I mean, it's TV. Guys, it's fictitious, period. It is truly fictional. It's not going to happen, to my knowledge, anything past tonight unless they contact me. Well, what's your contract say? Well, guys, I'm getting paid just like everybody else is around here. And, you know, some of those guys, you know, oh God, I wish I'd have done the research on this, but maybe they'll come up down the road. But there were a couple of guys that like had a month left or 2 months left, or it was over that night. They weren't happy. Yeah. But it's not like we were pointing fingers at them, but it's just the timing of everything. I think some people had more than a year on them too.
So here's my question. Two follow-up questions to all this. Did your dad watch it? Did you call your dad that night? Do you talk to your dad about it the next week? When or what does he say about what he saw?
We had a conversation, I want to say a month may be too far out, but he asked me specifically on my contract, like, what's the deal? And I'm like, look, I signed it. It's a 2-year deal, period. So I certainly didn't talk to him that night or the day after, maybe a couple of days after. But my relationship with my father, I don't want to say business was non-existent, but pretty damn close.